In this video, I'm going to share the top 5 management tips that have absolutely transformed my life. I've always been pretty organized, but implementing these simple 5 things has completely brought my productivity to an entirely new level. The thing is, we've all been there before, struggling to manage our time effectively. Procrastination creeps in, and before we know it, the day's gone, and we're left with a long list of tasks that we never completed. It's overwhelming to say the least. We always promise ourselves that tomorrow we're going to do better, but we rarely do. We get sucked into this vortex of social media and emails and meetings, and our productivity takes a huge hit. Effective time management is the key to achieving our personal and professional goals. When we manage our time well, we're able to prioritize tasks, focus on what's important, and make the most out of the hours that we do have. It's what separates the high achievers from those who struggle to get things done. So if you're ready to take control of your schedule and start getting more out of each day, then stick around to hear my top 5 tips and stay until the very end of the video to hear one of the most controversial, but also most powerful time management skills I have learned in my life. All right, so let's get started with the very first habit that has changed everything for me. Now, this might seem obvious, but it's something that many of us overlook: taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself has to be a non-negotiable. This is something I personally didn't really do. Years ago, I wasn't really taking care of myself as well as I should have. I was stressed out at work all the time. I was getting to the gym occasionally, but I didn't have a frequent schedule. I hadn't made it a priority or a habit in my life. I wasn't taking the right vitamins or supplements. In fact, I was totally ignorant about what I should even be taking or what I should be eating. And as a consequence, not only was my diet poor, not only was I stressed at work, but I would just wake up feeling tired and lethargic. I didn't have enough energy to get done in a day what I had to. And when you feel like that day after day, it just wears you down. But on the flip side, in the past few years, I've made a huge improvement in my health and wellness by just taking care of myself, by making sure I get enough sleep, by eating healthy, fresh, organic foods, real food, not processed food, by getting outside and getting sunlight and fresh air and exercising. I mean, these things just pay absolutely huge dividends in all of our lives. Because the thing is, if you're not feeling your best, your productivity is going to take a hit. So this means we need to prioritize sleep, eating nutritious meals, staying hydrated, and also making time for regular exercise. When your body and mind are well taken care of, you'll find it so much easier to stay focused and on top of all of your tasks. And remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's the foundation for managing everything else in our lives. So the next habit is eliminating clutter. Now this means both physical clutter and digital clutter. Because a cluttered environment just leads to a cluttered mind. At least that's my experience. I've found that by keeping my workspace super clean and organized, it just helps me to think more clearly and stay on track. And the same goes for digital clutter. I make it a habit to regularly go through my emails, organize folders on my computer, organize files, because I want to streamline everything in a physical sense and also a digital sense. And this just makes it so much easier to deal with the constant demands that I have each and every day. I know where everything is, I know what I have to do that day, and when you remove these distractions, you create a space that's conducive to productivity. It's a simple change, but it makes a huge, huge difference. So the third habit is planning your schedule. I can't stress enough just how important this actually is. Every evening, I take a few minutes to go over and plan out the next day. And I'll even do this on not only a daily, but a weekly and monthly basis. So I'm tracking whatever priorities are coming up during that time frame. I list out any tasks I have, I prioritize them, and I also plan specific times to get specific things done. This not only keeps me on track, but reduces my own decision fatigue. So instead of each and every day having to decide in the morning what I have to do that day, I already have a plan. I already know exactly what I need to do and when. So this is really important if you're a business owner. Having your own business, there are just so many things to keep track of. There are financial issues, legal issues, business licenses, compliance, taxes, employees, all of it. And so by having a planned and effective schedule, it helps you strategize. And for me personally, there are just so many things I want to cover in a day and in a week that I would be lost without my schedule. I need to take that time to sit down and strategize the most important things to get done that day, that week, that month, and even that year. So next up, we have learning how to classify tasks. Not all tasks are created equal. Some are urgent, some are important, and some can wait. And some, frankly, really don't deserve much of our time. I use the Eisenhower matrix, I think it's very effective, to categorize my tasks into 4 main quadrants. You have something that's urgent and important. Then you have important but not urgent. Then you have it's urgent but not important. And finally, a task that is neither urgent nor important. So all this is doing is taking any of the tasks, any of the things that come up, and putting them in one of 4 quadrants. And this system really helps me prioritize my time and focus on what truly matters. Because especially as a business owner, but even as an employee, there are always going to be things that come up at the last minute. And by identifying which tasks need immediate attention and which can be delegated or postponed, I personally am able to work much more efficiently and avoid wasting time on low priority activities that I can maybe do later or that I can delegate. So finally, I've saved for last one of the most important tips that I've learned. This is learning to say no. This was a tough one for me at first, but it's really essential for managing your time effectively. We all have limited hours in the day, and if you're constantly saying yes to every request, you'll just end up overwhelmed and stretched way too thin. So has this ever happened to you? I think we've all been in situations where we have so many demands placed on us and we really can't keep up. And along these lines, another common struggle that many people face is having a lack of boundaries. We say yes to every request, every favor, and every commitment without stopping to think about our own priorities and our own well-being. There's a tendency at times to become people pleasers, and we sacrifice our own time and energy just for the sake of others. And let's be real, it's really hard to say no when someone is asking for your help. But the thing is, saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you intentional. By setting boundaries and focusing on your priorities, you'll have more time and energy for the things that really matter to you. And another way of looking at this is seeing that saying no to certain things allows you to say yes to others. So there you have it. These are the 5 habits that have completely transformed the way that I manage my time. By taking care of yourself, eliminating clutter, planning your schedule, classifying tasks, and learning to say no, you'll be well on your way to mastering time management and achieving more in your life. If you found these tips helpful, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it with friends, or someone who could use a little help with time management. And hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.